My sister tried to ruin my wedding, but her secret love was finally exposed. I never thought my own sister would be the reason my wedding day turned into the most confusing day of my life. For most of my life, my younger sister Lily had been the golden child. My parents adored her. She was charming, funny, and always the center of attention. Meanwhile, I was the quiet, responsible one. Still, I loved her. When I got engaged to my fiancé Daniel after 5 years together, I asked Lily to be my maid of honor. She cried and hugged me. "Of course I will," she said. "I'll make sure your day is perfect." Looking back now, that promise feels ironic. The morning of the wedding started beautifully. Sunlight poured through the hotel window while my bridesmaids helped me get ready. My dress hung beside the mirror and everything felt surreal. But Lily was late, very late. At first, I thought maybe she overslept, but 30 minutes before the ceremony, she finally rushed in looking pale and nervous. "Where were you?" I asked. She hesitated. Then she said the words that made my stomach drop. "I think Daniel is cheating on you." The room went silent. "What?" I whispered. Lily pulled out her phone and showed me a photo. It was Daniel, sitting in a cafe with another woman. They were leaning close together, laughing. My heart started racing. "This was yesterday," Lily said softly. "I didn't want to ruin your day, but you deserve to know." Suddenly, the room felt too small. 5 years together, 5 years of trust, and now this? I locked myself in the bathroom, trying to breathe. My bridesmaids were whispering outside. My makeup was starting to smear from tears. Part of me wanted to cancel the wedding immediately, but another part of me kept thinking, what if there's an explanation? So I did something unexpected. I walked down the aisle anyway. Daniel looked shocked when he saw me, but something else caught my attention. Lily wasn't smiling. She looked nervous, almost scared. The ceremony began. My heart was pounding the entire time. When the officiant asked if anyone had objections, the room was silent. But before Daniel could say his vows, I spoke. "I have a question first." Everyone stared at me. I turned to Daniel. "Who was the woman you met yesterday at the cafe?" His face changed instantly. "Wait, how do you know about that?" I pointed at Lily. She showed me. The entire room turned toward her. For a moment, Lily looked like a deer caught in headlights. Then Daniel said something I'll never forget. "Oh, that makes sense now." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small envelope. Inside was a photograph, but not of him cheating. It was a photo of an engagement ring. "My sister helped me pick your wedding gift yesterday," Daniel said slowly. Everyone looked confused. Then he continued. "That woman was my sister, Emily. She flew in early to surprise you." My mind went blank. What? Daniel pulled out his phone and showed everyone another picture. It was the same cafe, but in the photo, the woman looked exactly like him. Same eyes, same smile. His sister. The room filled with murmurs. I slowly turned toward Lily. Her face had gone completely white. "Why would you tell me he was cheating?" I asked quietly. She didn't answer. Daniel spoke again, his voice calm but cold. "Actually, I think I know why." He held up his phone again. This time, it showed a series of messages. From Lily. Messages I had never seen before. "Are you sure you want to marry her? You deserve someone more exciting. If things don't work out, you know I'm here." My stomach dropped. The room went dead silent. Lily burst into tears. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," she cried, but it was already too late. In that moment, I realized something painful. My sister hadn't tried to protect me. She had tried to sabotage my wedding. The ceremony paused while everyone processed what had happened. Daniel gently held my hand. "Do you still want to marry me today?" he asked softly. I looked around the room, at my family, at Lily crying in the corner, then back at him. "Yes," I said. The ceremony continued, but Lily was quietly asked to leave. I didn't see her for months after that, and even now, years later, our relationship has never fully recovered. because sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones capable of hurting you the deepest. After the wedding, I thought the worst was over. Lily had been exposed in front of our entire family, and she left the venue crying before the reception even started. My parents were embarrassed and angry, and for weeks, no one really talked about what happened. Daniel and I tried to move on, but something still didn't feel right, because one question kept bothering me. Why would Lily try so hard to break us up? Sure, siblings fight sometimes, but this felt deeper, almost desperate. And about 2 months after the wedding, I finally got my answer. It was a quiet Sunday evening when I received a message from an unknown number. The message was short. You deserve to know the full truth about Lily. Attached was a screenshot. At first, I thought it was fake, but when I looked closer, my stomach turned. It was a dating profile, and the name on the profile was Lily. The bio read, "Single, looking for something serious, recently heartbroken." But the part that made my hands shake was the photo. It wasn't just Lily, it was a picture of her and Daniel together at a family barbecue from the previous summer. I immediately showed Daniel. He stared at the screen in disbelief. "I swear I didn't know about this," he said. And I believed him. But the screenshots kept coming. Whoever was sending them clearly had access to Lily's account. There were messages between Lily and several people. In those messages, she kept telling the same story. She said she had been secretly in love with her sister's fiancé for years. My chest felt tight reading that. But then I saw something worse. One message said, "I almost had him before the wedding." I couldn't stay silent anymore, so the next day I went to my parents' house. Lily was there. When she saw me walk in, she immediately froze. "I need to talk to you," I said. She looked nervous, but nodded. We went to the backyard where we used to play as kids. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then I showed her the screenshots. Her face drained of color. "Where did you get those?" she whispered. "That doesn't matter," I replied. "Tell me the truth." She started crying, and what she admitted next shocked me. She had been in love with Daniel for 3 years. 3 years! Apparently, it started when he helped her fix her car one day. After that, she began convincing herself that they had chemistry. But Daniel always treated her like a little sister. That's when she started convincing herself of something else. She believed I didn't deserve him. So her plan was simple. If she could break us up before the wedding, she thought Daniel might eventually fall for her. "That's why you showed me the photo," I said quietly. She nodded. "I thought if you believed he cheated, you'd cancel the wedding." For a long moment, I didn't say anything. I just looked at her, the sister I grew up with, the person I trusted with everything. And suddenly, she felt like a stranger. "Do you realize what you almost destroyed?" I asked. Her voice was small. "I know. But the strange part is she didn't actually look sorry. She looked defeated, like someone whose plan had failed. That was the last real conversation we had. After that day, Lily moved to another city. We rarely speak now. Family holidays are awkward and quiet. Sometimes I still think about what happened. Not because I regret marrying Daniel, but because it taught me a painful truth. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from the people sitting right next to you at the dinner table. For almost a year, I didn't hear anything about Lily. She had moved to another city, changed jobs, and basically disappeared from our family's daily life. My parents occasionally mentioned her, but the conversations were short and uncomfortable. Daniel and I tried to focus on building our life together. Eventually, things started to feel normal again, or at least as normal as they could be after everything that happened. But then, one night, something unexpected happened. It was around 11 p.m. when my phone suddenly rang. I almost ignored it because the number was unknown, but something told me to pick it up. "Hello?" I said. For a few seconds, there was only silence. Then I heard a familiar voice. "Hey, it's Lily." My heart immediately started racing. It had been almost a year since we last spoke. "Why are you calling?" I asked carefully. Her voice sounded different, softer, nervous. "I just needed to tell you something," she said. "What?" There was a long pause on the phone. Then she said something that completely caught me off guard. "I'm getting married." I didn't know how to react. Part of me felt shocked. Another part of me felt strangely relieved. "Congratulations," I said slowly. "Thanks," she replied, but then she added something that made the conversation strange again. "I wanted to tell you first, before Mom and Dad." "Why?" Another pause. "Because you deserve the truth." My stomach tightened. "What truth?" Lily took a deep breath. "The guy I'm marrying? You've met him before." Immediately, my mind started racing through every person I knew. "Who?" I asked. And then she said a name that made my